Still some more Goliaths going to try to come out of those factories. Is ForGG going to come out in time? But way too many mutas and zerglings down on the ground. Not enough. Finally enough microing some of these Goliaths here at the back. But those zerglings, that two-pronged attack, the critical factor to get this. Some more Goliaths coming out of this factories now. But he's going to be clicking for those Goliaths like crazy right now. No zerglings on the ground. So these mutalisks might be pushed back though. But ForGG has already lost a lot of economy. Still zerglings that have lost a lot of SCVs. And lost a lot of his own army. Even more zerglings are going to be running up. Not that many mutalisk reinforcements, but a lot more zerglings. Not quite what ForGG now in a lot of trouble. Some marines and a bunker would be a huge help right now. Going to scan that third base, going to spot that it's not saturated yet. So knows he still has time to get back into this game as long as he plays well. He's not going to keep up the pressure. ForGG, thankfully, all those factories manages to get his force of Goliaths up fairly well, but only Goliaths, not the best as you saw right there. Not a lot of saturation on his main right now, forced to get some of those off to his natural expo. Not the best position, and the girl there is so bored that she's texting. I hate you. I hate you with every fiber of my soul. So let's see, Goliath's going out there and still trying to pick something off. They're going to get caught in the open beyond their bridge. It could be a very bad position for them. They're going to get caught completely open. Only some of the Goliaths being blocked because they're being able to back off slowly, trying to micro against this. But losing his Goliaths, those two-pronged attack, nothing but Goliaths out there, not quite good enough to engage both zerglings and mutants at the same time. Slowly trying to reinforce those Goliaths of his. But he's doing a pretty good job. Picked off most of his zerglings at this point and still killing and damaging some of those mutas. So the muta count not as high, but still, hyuk I think is not in that bad a position. Still controlling the match. Sunken Colony at the 9 o'clock position because he knows that ForGG spotted that out. Loses some more mutalisks there. ForGG weapons, 1 armor, 1 upgrade. So he's still staying in this with this very heavy Goliath bolt. He's actually going to go for this or not. For the aggressive action, that 9 o'clock base I think is the place to go right now. Another second colony coming in there, and he's still going to have some more forces, and he's very close to that. Not all that many Goliaths, only 6 of them, I believe. 2 sunken colonies. He still might manage to break this. The mutalisks are going to be coming in, though. If he's going to do this, he has to do this now before the sunken colony morphs in. Another creep colony coming down, so he's going to go for this right now. Mutalisks coming in as well. Few shots from the Goliaths against those mutalisks. They're going to be forced back. Just as the mutalisks come in, it's going to be enough to force those Goliaths back. Still all alive, but want to make sure they're still they stay in the game. Hyuk staying on lair right now, smartly enough, I feel, just keeping those mutas up there, just making sure, getting that expansion up, making sure he can keep his troop armament up, and ForGG still on 2 bases, still should have some mining out, can stay on these 2 bases for a while, but eventually he's going to want to expand again. And going out, killing some overlords every little bit helps for ForGG, I guess. ForGG is still very much in this game, I feel. I feel the blows that have been done to him are not that deadly, but now he's going to go back home. Mutas flying in, only a couple Goliaths are defending, even more Goliaths coming out there, but definitely ForGG going to lose even more SCVs. Hyuk picking off a few, going on to natural now. This is the problem you hear with the Goliaths. They can't run between the natural and the main. And the mutalisks allow a lot of maneuverability to go in and do some damage. Several SCVs being picked off right there. Now actually ForGG going all the way to the front of Hyuk's round, attacking something there. I think there's something flying around my room. Butterfly. Why don't there's butterflies in my room? I hate freaking butterflies. Actually, I don't, but it's like they always interrupt me during the summer when I'm casting. Always butterflies. Always spot spiders in my bathroom and butterflies in my room while I'm casting. There's just something about things that have, there's the size smaller than my thumb that like me, and I think that bothers me actually. So Mula is still doing a good job for Hyuk, and ForGG has done some damage, has a control group of Goliaths out there, about a control group outside the natural expansion, just going to pick off a hatcher right now, and some Hydras coming in here for Hyuk, so he has a strong enough economy transition that has an Evo chamber up, so we're going to work on the upgrades, work on all that. ForGG has up 1 armor, 1 weapons right now, going to go work on weapons too, I think. Picked off the production hatchery, and we're going to see how we're just going to keep the aggression up. Meanwhile, Hyuk gonna go with the natural expansion again. Has a lot of mutalisks in there, and ForGG honestly paying a little bit by not having any static defenses. Some turrets with this entire game would have been a big help. His main right now not really mining much, and he's already lost a lot of SCVs there as well. So being also always forced to resaturate, not really helping him out right now. Doing some decent micro with his Goliaths, keeping alive, but Carapace too on those Muta's definitely a big help, although therefore GG manages to fight him back. Still moving around with his Goliaths. Mutalists now flying around. Might get caught into those Goliaths in a battle with those Goliaths, and that's a very large number of Goliaths. Muta's not really sure whether they want to be caught in that. Goliaths, yeah, gonna get several decent shots off on those Mutas, but the Carapace upgrade being huge. No Mutas dying there, just surviving those blows very well. Hyuk adding in additional hatcheries, production hatcheries, and just going to work on massive hydras and some zerglings and mutas. And I honestly feel that despite Goliath being a very nice army overall, finally some tanks out there with siege, I assume. Honestly feel that the competition is right now not the best. One tank getting caught open by Mutalisk. One more hit. No, the tank survives. God, every tank is precious. Some of those Mutalisks finally going to die, maybe, or at least take some damage. But right now, every tank is precious. Actually, should bring out an well, if you could spare the SCVs, because he's lost so many, he actually might go and repair it. But apparently thinking of going for this 9 o'clock, try to siege it from range. Has to be very careful to defend it with those Goliaths. And Hyuk actually moving to the left side of the map, wondering when he's actually going to try to go for a counterattack, because when it comes to who's going to be able to withhold an attack, that's Hyuk. Actually adding in a creep colony here at range, very nice. But yeah, when it comes to withholding an attack, it's definitely Hyuk that can withhold an attack, and he's just going to go for this natural. ForGG, meanwhile, all of his troops away from home, finally seems to spot what's going on, moving everything back home. Some of his tanks need to be in position against those Hydras. If they're not siege in position against those Hydras, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Has a bunch of Goliaths back home. At the very least, forcing Hyuk to back off right here, forcing him to rethink. Weapons 1 now on those Hydras as well. So, still feels like Hyuk has the advantage, although ForGG is still not out of it. Almost dead mining in his main, and still some mining at the natural going on, so he's definitely going to want to work on additional base soon enough. He's not in the best of positions right now economically. Hyuk's still staying on those 3. I feel he's going to be able to expand very soon right now. ForGG, is he finally going to go for this? Yes, he is. Tank's going to start sieging here from range, trying to pick off these sunken colonies as fast as possible to just go for it. And he's naturally being protected by some tanks and Goliaths of his own. Not quite sure if the force is quite big enough. Hyuk is going to go for this. The tanks gonna be vulnerable against his Mutas. Mutas gonna be forced back, but is Hyuk gonna go for this? Is ForGG gonna be able to get this done with the force he has? He's gonna be facing Hyuk, gonna turn around, go engage those Goliaths from the back. Hyuk does ForGG does have a sizable force. Hyuk seems to be kind of stuck with the indecision bug. Creep colony being taken down. Sunken colony is gonna be ranged. Hyuk has to make a move now. The longer he gives ForGG now, the longer he's going to be able to go and do some damage. Hydra's running in piecemeal, going to get picked off by those Goliaths. Hyuk has a large army, a lot of Mutas, a lot of Hydras. ForGG has consolidated his force, huge amount of Goliaths. Tanks from the back are also going to be fighting those Hydras. Is this going to be enough for Hyuk to pick this off? If this army goes down, ForGG, he's going to be a lot of trouble. Oh, Hydras coming in from the south. Looks like those Goliaths are completely boxed in. Some Hydras from the south. It looks like ForGG is going to lose his entire force. All those tanks. Oh my god, that's it. Losing most of his Mutas, but so many Hydras still in play. Now going to go attack. ForGG was so desperate to get that attack to succeed. But Hyuk just amassed a huge number of Hydras. Waited, boxed him in. That was it. ForGG now going to move out, but he just does not have enough. Not enough production. His main shot, completely no mining going on there. Only his natural expansion. The only thing that's supporting him right now, he needs an additional base. And picking up an additional base would be a huge, dangerous thing right now. He should thank his stars that Hyuk's only on 3, because I honestly feel Hyuk right now should be on 4 bases. I honestly feel Hyuk should be going on a 4th base and even working on a hive. But Hyuk feels very comfortable right now with where it's gonna expand here at the inside 9 minute only, and you do not want that to come up. ForGG gonna move out yet again. He has to keep his tanks safe right now. Unfortunately, his tanks were completely in the open earlier and very vulnerable. Those Hydras came from the south. Is he going to go for the natural expansion now? Is he going to try to go for the killer blow? Looks like he is, but I still feel Hyuk is in a very good position. Some of the tanks going to start siege from range. Muta's going to come in, try to pick off those tanks. A lot of tanks in there. Hydras coming in very close. Not Goliaths there to protect. Tanks engaging those Hydras, but the Hydras being allowed to come in very close. Goliath's not in the position to protect all the tanks except for one go down. One more tank coming out the other side of the bridge. Way too many Hydras for anything to happen. ForGG going to lose his entire army right here. That's going to be GG any minute. Hyuk is going to be the first person to move on from this Group D. Oh my god, just saying that kind of shocks me. I don't think I've ever seen Hyuk move to the round of 16 of a Star League. I've commentated. He's been in almost every single round 32, except I think last season. And now he's going to move on to round 16. That is somehow insane. ForGG still has a few forces here. He might be able to take down this inside 9, but that's not going to be... I don't even think he's going to manage to do that, because Hyuk's coming down with reinforcements right now from the south as well as the west. Way too many forces, and quite a decently maneuverable force right here. Finally a GG from ForGG. Hyuk going to be the first person to move out of this group. ForGG definitely feel he had a nice idea, but I think the follow-through was a bit weak. Going for all Goliaths. Almost no maneuverability on the army there, and unfortunately sacrificed so much of that. Going for a Goliath Valkyrie build. Okay, he wouldn't have given you as a larger ground army, but at least it would have given me some more ability. I think a Goliath Valkyrie build would have in the end helped him out a bit better. But yeah, Hyuk, shocker. Oh my god. So, gonna bring you guys more games tomorrow. I'm just kind of too shot right now to continue doing this. Yeah, especially, I know the length of the next game. I'm just, too tired, and I don't want to accidentally screw it all up. So, GG guys, mention out this listening. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you all soon enough.